Time is 7:13. I'll call the regular city council meeting for March 16th, 2020 to order. The first item on the agenda is our invocation and pledge. The invocation will be led by Councilman Gann, and pledge, we'll do it, right? Councilman Burris. If you'll please rise.
Please pray with me. Dear Lord, we come to you again to say thank you. Thank you for all the blessings and answered prayers that you've given us. Thank you for all the opportunities, and we ask that you continue to use us and guide us in all the decisions that we need to make. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Please raise the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please take your seats. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Chrissy, did you receive any? No. Anyone wishing to come forward and address any of the issues that are not on the agenda tonight, feel free to do so. We just ask that state your name for the record, your address for the record, and if we do have information sheets in the back, if you could complete that and deliver it with the city secretary for our records, we would appreciate it. Now, not everybody at once. We could. All right, not seeing anyone coming forward, we'll move on to the next item. Bear with me one moment. The next item on the agenda are the reports. We have an annual presentation and overview of the Development Services Department, including building, planning and zoning, code enforcement, and health. Randy,
Yes.
the floor is yours.
Thank you very much.
You said you could shorten that to 3 or 4 minutes?
Gotcha. I got you covered.
Take all the time you want.
Well, I will go through it pretty quickly for you guys. I just want to kind of let you know what we've been doing in our department. I'm sure some of it you have seen, but just in case you haven't, I wanted to point out, and I want to point out without the team, I didn't ask them to be here tonight. I usually do, but I didn't ask my team to be here tonight, but none of this would be possible without them. They are the ones that are truly the driving force behind this. So we have, in the past year, added an in-house plans examiner, which has allowed us to keep a lot of the plan reviews in-house rather than having to send them out to a third-party plan reviewer. This has sped up review times. It's made answering questions for them a little bit easier, those kind of things when contractors call in. So it's been really nice to have that. She is still training. She's still learning on a daily basis, but she's done an outstanding job and has really been a benefit to our department. We also have expanded our capacity with a second inspector, which was, at this point, you will see much needed. So he is fitting in extremely nicely. We did kind of steal him from Denton, but you know, sometimes that desperate times call for desperate measures. So we were really glad to have him, and that was nice to get a hold of him. So that kind of tells what we've been experiencing. Our results, we've had increased departmental capacity, which is what I was saying. We can do more of those services in-house now. If our inspector is on vacation, we have a backup inspector that can handle the inspections rather than relying on a third-party inspection. And sometimes with those third-party inspections, you're not really sure what you're getting. So that sometimes can be a little bit tricky too. So in the planning area, you have seen not as many anymore plats come across, because now planning and zoning does it. So we have done preliminary plats for Alata Edition. We're getting ready to just start doing some final platting for them as well. Sanger Town Center, which is going to be another retail area out by Sable Creek. It is in the platting area as well, and it's moving along with its development, and we're already looking at some plans and different things for those lots as well. We've seen Lois Road Estates, which is a residential neighborhood, 1 through 7. I think we've seen those a couple of times actually as they've changed and transformed. Lane Ranch Phase 5 is moving forward. Bells Road Retail Edition, y'all have seen the growth there with the Tom Thumb, the continuing businesses that are building there as well. We had Oasis Apartments approved. Blue Star Industrial's working on one of their lots as well. Chapman Crossing, which is another development, is coming along. You see Clear Creek Sanger High School and Middle School. A lot of those have been built for years. Somehow, years ago, those were built without ever being platted. So when the high school came forward, and they were doing some upgrades to Clear Creek and to also the middle school, the ag barn and those kind of things, we had the opportunity at that point to go ahead and plat those properties. And so those properties have finally all finalized and got everything going. Victory at Sanger Edition is another commercial or a regional commercial area that's out past Chisholm Trail Elementary on the south side there in front of that housing development. B&A Roberts Edition, 91 Edition. 91 was kind of a unique thing. We platted it in conjunction with Cook County because there's a piece of it in Denton County, a piece of it in Cook County, a piece of it. So that was a really kind of intense but interesting process as well. We had some minor plats for just individual lots come in. Guy, Rising Star, cell tower site. We have the one addition that's still in review. That one is planned to be a convenience store once it gets through all of its reviews. But at this point, we're still in review on the development. I think they're looking at some drainage problems. We've had replats of different additions, the Bells Road, Bolivar Ranch, Kirkland Street. They took 2 lots made into 1. Corrada Estates, they took 1 lot and made into 3. Sanger South Subdivision was a church that added some additional land in order to be able to expand their building. And then Bolivar Heights was another just single lot addition. We've also seen some zoning. You guys have seen that as well. We zoned 1106 North Stemmons, which is the building right next to the Villa Grande and Roma building. That entire lot was still zoned industrial, but we came back and then zoned that to what it really needed to be, which was a B2, which is now our regional commercial district. Lois Roads Estates, we zoned from ag to PD. High Point, we zoned from ag to PD. Alada, which we're moving forward with, is zoned ag to PD. Sanger Town Center South went from B2, which is what it was originally zoned, to PD so they could better adjust the lots to fit some of the commercial users they had coming in. Union Hill went from ag to I. That was a business that, again, that had been there several years that somehow got there without the correct zoning. Sanger Circle Phase 7 PD, they even come back and amended that and added some additional lots to that just recently. Then we have Bells Road, which went from ag to regional commercial, and that's the corner of Bells and I-35 on the west side, the northwest side. We've approved 2 specific use permits this last year, so that was good. We didn't need as many of those because of some of our ordinance changes and the things that you guys have supported over the past year. We did 207 Chapman Drive to office use, and that is, it was a house. It was a residential house. It's next to Marvin's Garage. And so that now can be used as an office, which better fits the use for that area. And then we also gave Lane Ranch a temporary concrete batch plant. We really only had 1 set of variances come in, and that was on the gated community that we approved, Windhaven Estates. So we approved that it was a gated community. That took a variance in itself to make it a gated community. The street width and some pond slope, and then just the entry slope to make sure that all of that would work for them. And so that is completed, and they're getting ready to start developing those lots as well.
Where is that one exactly?
That's on Marion Road.
Across from Sanger Circle.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah, right across from Sanger Circle. Yeah, hang on. Okay. This is the big story of this year, I think, and this is what I'm going to spend a little bit of time on. code enforcement. You guys backed us when we brought some new ordinances before you guys to kind of strengthen what we had in code enforcement. And I'm sure some of you have heard some of the feedback from those new ordinances as well. So, but we did have many problem areas that we just didn't have the tools in the toolbox to address. But with the code updates that you guys approved and helped us implement, we have been able to address some of those areas that we didn't have good enforcement on before. So with that, we've been able to hit some of the minimum standards, some of the junk vehicles, some of the outside storage that we get the complaints on. There just wasn't a lot that we could really do if the owner didn't voluntarily comply. We have had numerous substandard structures. I would have never thought the number was as high as it was when you really get to looking at what those substandard structures are. I guess when you start really putting eyes on it, you see things that you didn't see before. So with y'all's support, and I will tell you, the success of this transition was totally due to the codes that you guys allowed us to pass, and the support that we've received not only from you, but from also the city manager in backing us on these items. I'm going to show you a few little before and afters that you may recognize. The very first one, you'll see the car wash that's no longer there in the bottom. That was a direct result of the codes that you guys passed. It allowed us to call that a substandard structure and have it taken down. The same thing with the house next to it. You see the top picture, and then the after is the bottom. The next one you may recognize a little bit. There was a lot of outside storage and junk on a lot there, right on 5th Street. If you look at that today, matter of fact, I took that picture, the bottom picture today. That is what that looks like today. And that's all been voluntary compliance. The people with the right tools in the push have made these changes.
So they cleaned up the one on the right because of the ordinance?
Todd went out and talked to them. Our code officer wrote them a violation, a notice of violation, and stated the articles that gave him that authority, and they began the cleanup, and that's how that happened. We have the same thing. This was a house on Bolivar Street that had been vacant for a long time. This is actually zoned as a commercial lot, but it was never going to really look like a commercial lot as long as that old house was there, and now the lot is completely clean and it looks great. The next one is an old barn that's off of Chapman. It was one we actually got quite a few complaints about, across from Starbucks, to the west of Starbucks, and now that is a clean area as well. But not only did they demo, we had the demo, we had the cleanup, but we also looked at some substandard structures that just needed repair. They didn't necessarily need to be demoed, they just needed to be repaired. So the house on the very end there shows you that they had some boarded up windows, and the bottom picture is the result after the repairs were made. So just looks like a much nicer area. Same thing with this. You'll see the old sign frame that's been out there for as long as I can remember. It's gone now because of the ordinances that we passed. The next house is also on 5th Street, and it sits kind of down, really across from the Church of Christ is where it was. And it had gotten in pretty rough shape as well, but they have done an excellent job remodeling it, and it looks really nice now. And the last one is a house for an owner that tends to let properties dilapidate a little bit. So with this push, they're still in the process of bringing this one up, but they have made progress on it, which is more than we've gotten in the last 5 years with it. So I kind of wanted to hit on that code enforcement because you can see the results of what we did and what you guys probably hear about from your end of, with unhappy citizens. But it really has been a successful program. Here's just some of our fun things that we've done over the past year. We've opened Tom Thumb. We've opened Seven Brew. Club Car Wash is coming. Can hardly wait. But in order for all of that to happen, this is the nuts and bolts of it here. For planning, we worked 65 different projects in the last 12 months. We held over 142 meetings with external developers and builders. We issued 127 residential permits, which residential, as you know, may have slowed just a tiny bit, but this is really close to on target of where we were last year as well. Commercial permits have doubled. This is double the number that we've issued in the past year. Miscellaneous permits, 855. That's doubled from last year. Inspections, our residential inspections are similar in nature to what they were, again, because of the residential permits being similar. But our commercial inspections went to 1,153. Now, the thing about a commercial inspection that you don't see, they call in one inspection and you're inspecting 25 apartments. So that one inspection times 25. So this number is a little bit tainted because you don't see the full picture. The same thing, if they call in a mechanical inspection on a commercial building, you're not looking at one or two rooms. You're looking at 50,000 square feet of mechanical equipment. So this is where that adding that additional inspector has really been a benefit to us in these areas. Miscellaneous inspection, 157, and that's just
How many?
1,057. Sorry, I said 157. 1,057. So our total inspections the last year were 4,552. So that tells you how much Sanger is growing and the work that is coming our way. We had 69 permits that were handled through our department, but were really for other departments. We now have 48 health permits. Last year, I think we were at 43, so we've gained 5 establishments, not counting the new establishments that will be coming with the Whataburger and the Panda Express and those. We have 3 RV sites, and we issued 24 temporary health permits. So the people that set up for one day for the farmer's market, for a different event, Sanger celebration, those kind of things.
Food trucks included in that, or no?
Food trucks are not.
Okay.
Food trucks are not unless they're doing a one-day event. Now, if they're doing a one-day event, they could be included in that. But food trucks, the state's taking over the licensing for food trucks. The kicker to that is they're contracting it right back to us. So the state has now the authority to permit food trucks, but we'll be doing the work on that. So it really didn't move anything from us. We have approved one PID that we're in works with, and that is picking up progress. I've met with them a couple of times. I'll be meeting with them again. We have 3 more potential PIDs that could be coming as well. We've done 1 annexation, which you guys are going to hopefully finalize tonight. And then we will have another potential annexation coming with one of the PIDs. We're also doing a water CCN transfer that is moving right along as well. Our code officer worked 631 code cases this past year, 302 for high grass and weeds, 82 for trash and debris, 98 parked on unimproved surfaces, 1 blocking sidewalk, 40 junked vehicles, 9 work without a permit, 20 zoning violations, 43 minimum building standards. So that's where you see these houses coming in. He's worked 43 of those sites, and I would not have thought we had 43 sites for that, but we do, and there are still additional sites out there that we haven't worked as of yet. 11 fence permits that were required, 25 miscellaneous violations, and then he's pulled 345 signs, illegal signs. So when you see the little sign pop up and the next day it's gone, that's thanks to our code officer. He drives by and picks those up for them. Oh, sorry, I hit the button here. So basically, that's what our department has done. The sad part about the code enforcement officer is he did retire. So we are now in search of a new one. So he's done 43 years with municipal government, and his last day is, official last day is March 31st, but he's taking some vacation time between now and then. So he will be greatly missed. But I want to thank you guys for all the support you give us, and we do appreciate it. And hopefully you are seeing the results of your work as well.
Well, I want to thank you. You know, a month or so ago, I was asked by a citizen to be at a meeting.
Yes.
And I think they just wanted me there to listen. You know, I did not, from the emails I received from them, I didn't know what to expect.
Sometimes we don't either.
I was actually expecting some fireworks to go off, but I just went in front of everybody here. I was so impressed with you and Todd. Y'all did great, and I think the resident completely understood, and hopefully they're working with you.
Yeah, I think they're working on getting it done. And when you hear those complaints, please know, we're always willing to work with that resident. We're never gonna say, oh, this has to be done in 3 days, unless it's something that's, you know, a hazard to somebody. But we're always willing to work with those residents. It's just a matter of them contacting us and us working out a way to do that.
Well, that's what I found over the years when people would come up to me. They don't know where they are. Why is the city delaying? Have you called them? And seriously, reach out, and I'd run into them a day or two later, and all they did, they didn't know where they stood. All they had to do was call. And it's not, we're not reaching out to them. We post it, we do these things and say, here's where we are. And really, it's just a breakdown in communication. But once they do that, oh, now they can move along.
It is, and sometimes you have a contractor in there that that the contractor's telling them one thing,
Right.
but what the contractor may or may not have even applied for the permit at this point. But he's telling them, well, the city's holding us up. But when they can get to us, we can say, oh yeah, we showed that came in yesterday, when they may have thought it came in 2 weeks ago.
Right. No,
So-
that's always the best way, is just to send people to you, and 100% of the time, they're thankful. So that, I think that, is like Victor's saying, that's a credit to you and your department.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much. I have like I said, I couldn't do it without my staff. I have a truly wonderful staff that works very cohesively together, and it makes it a really nice environment to be in.
Good. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you. Y'all can go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this up there.
Well, I didn't want you to talk bad about me like I'm trying to get you off the stage.
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. And Counselor, you'll see 3 items there. 2 of them are just past minutes, and the third one is an authorization for purchase of a brush truck. If there's no issues, we'll take it. If you want to talk about any of those.
Just
then-
one question, is this brush truck a replacement or is it an addition, new one?
It's a little bit of both. So yeah, it is a new brush truck, but we also have a brush truck that we utilize now that we also send out on deployments. So this is a much needed new truck, but will also serve the purpose of being able to fill a gap.
We can pull that off the agenda and discuss it.
If you would
That's
like.
just my question, though. If you're looking for a motion, I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Councilman Chick,
I'll second.
seconded by Councilman Van. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Raise your hand. Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is public hearing. We're going to conduct the second public hearing regarding the annexation of 434.26 acres of land described as A as in Alpha 0562 Alpha Hudson, Track 3. Track number Alpha 1281 Alpha. It's S. Williams, Track 1. Third track is, I either need better glasses or better lighting, probably both. Alpha, thank you. 1281 Alpha S. Williams, track 1A. Alpha 0280, A is in Alpha, Crawford, track 1, and A is in Alpha 0280A, Crawford, track 1A, 1B, generally located on the east side of Rector Road, approximately 4,458 feet south of the intersection of East Willow Street and Railroad Avenue. Randy?
So this property is currently owned by the city of Sanger. So it is our property. It's been in the county. It is within our ETJ. A portion of it is within Denton's ETJ, but because it is city-owned property, we can annex that portion. So that is what we're doing tonight. This is the second public hearing, and then the final annexation document will follow this. We're going to keep roughly 189 of those acres for future uses with the wastewater treatment facilities and other public.
And for the record, we opened the public hearing at 7:39. My apologies. Anything else to add, Randy?
That is all I have.
Is anyone wishing to comment during the public hearing period? If so, please come to the podium. All right, seeing no one coming to the podium, we will close the public hearing at 7:40. Let me catch up with my notes real quick. The next item on the agenda is an action item. Action item number 7, I'll read it to you. Consideration and possible action on ordinance number 03-13-26, the annexation of approximately 434.26 acres of land described as the A0562A Hudson, Track 3, the A1281A South Williams, Track 1, the A1281A South Williams, Track 1A, the A0280A Crawford, Track 1, and the A0280A Crawford, Track 1A, 1B, generally located on the east side of Rector Road, approximately 4,458 feet south of the intersection of East Willow Street and Railroad Avenue. Right?
This is the property that we just discussed in the public hearing. So this would be the final annexation of this property. If it is approved tonight, this will get filed and will become part of our city limits. So again, it is property that is currently owned by the city, and we have authority to annex property that the city owns.
So Randy, there's a section that does extend into Denton's ETJ.
Yes, sir.
So does that mean Denton's ETJ is going to, but there's no buffer there? It's just whatever we carve out, their ETJ will go out to
There is no buffer. Their
Okay.
ETJ will touch, correct.
Unlike the rest of the city limits where the buffer, we don't get to extend that buffer into there.
No, they were already there, and since they were already there, they will remain.
They will remain their ETJ in our city limits?
No.
No. The part that abuts, the part that we're annexing will remain Denton's ETJ. We don't get a buffer out from our city
Out from
limits.
there.
Yes,
Yeah,
out from
but-
there.
But what we encapsulate in that will turn into our.
It is ours,
Okay.
correct.
And then don't we own land just south, right there by the railroad and Railroad Road? We own that little piece of land just south there, don't
Yeah, on the other side of Record.
Right.
Yes, yes.
we? Okay.
Yeah, there's a track through there that we do own, yes.
Denton's ETJ, the way it reflects on the map, that's really only impacts a portion that we're keeping, I believe.
Yeah, it's not a huge portion.
Right. And that's that bottom corner that we have, that we're gonna annex or attempt
Yeah.
to?
Yes, and I've had those discussions with Denton
South.
as well.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Randy? If not, then we'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve action item 7 as presented.
Very nice.
I'll second.
I'm not reading all of it.
So we have a motion to approve by Councilman Burris, And we have a second by Councilwoman Barrett. Any other discussion?
No, I like the service plan being one page though, that's pretty nice.
We did simplify that a little bit.
Yeah, very nice.
All right, there's no other discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
The next item is future agenda items. Are there any future agenda items, council?
We've got any update on Megatel or anything like that? Did I go away and I missed a meeting or something?
Yeah, we don't have any new news on them outside the last update that the council was given. They're still proceeding with protest against all items that Megatel has pursued to this point. That includes the CCN portions release from the city's CCN obligations.
Mr. City Manager, I have a question. Did we no longer need, it's official, we no longer need the meeting on the 18th?
That is correct.
Okay.
So no special meeting on the 18th.
Yeah.
That will move that item to regular meeting.
So it'll be the first meeting
First meeting in April.
in April.
Is it
Sixth.
6th?
It is.
Yeah, April 6th.
Okay.
I would, it is imperative that we have a quorum for that meeting. That is a roll call vote. It requires 4 affirmatives. So having
So we
a
need a
full
super?
quorum will help tremendously.
So it needs a super, you gotta have 4, it's
Yes,
not
it's
just a simple,
majority.
okay. All right. Any other future agenda items? The next item is just information items. They're in your packet. Are there any questions for staff?
It's pretty straightforward.
What's that?
I said it's pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Well, I'll let all of you know, we're about to go into executive session again to wrap up. We didn't get it all done during the work session, so we're going in again. So you're welcome to leave. I'm just going to go ahead and start reading this, and then I'll call us into executive session. So pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, the City Council will meet in a closed executive session in accordance with the Texas Government Code, Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property. For deliberations regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, if deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiations with a third person, and this is in regards to Riley Ranch. I will call us in executive session at 7:46.
Yes, sir.
So we'll reconvene into regular session at 8:37. Council, what's your pleasure?
I would like to make a motion to reject all offers that were presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilman Burris, and that was seconded by Councilwoman Fair. Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? It carries 4-1. Councilman Bilyeu is opposition. Any other motions?
I would like to make a motion to authorize the city manager to relist the property.
We have a motion
I'll second.
by Councilman Burris, seconded by Councilman Gann. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. And none opposed, carries unanimously. All right, that wraps up the business. We will adjourn at 8:38.
Thank you, Council.